Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because tonight we're following the money. The millions of dollars that built an empire and vanished when the most infamous gangster in American history fell. This is the story of Al Capone's fortune, the mystery of where it went, and what happens to mob money when the boss goes down. Speakeasies, Tommy guns, bootleg whiskey barrels, and alleys. Alphonse Gabriel Capone, better known as Scarface. By the mid-1920s he was king of Chicago, bootlegging, racketeering, gambling, brothels. Every vice poured cash into his empire. His income at its peak? Over $100 million a year. In today's money, billions. But here's the thing about criminal money. It's slippery. Cash flowed in unmarked bills through secret casinos, hidden breweries, bribed cops, and dirty politicians. Capone lived large, mansions, diamond rings, silk suits, but for every dollar he flaunted, 10 more were hidden. And when the law finally came knocking, those millions didn't just disappear, they were buried. The IRS couldn't pin him on murder, couldn't prove racketeering, but tax evasion, that was his downfall. 1931. Capone sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. His empire shattered, his men scattered, his fortune vanished. Historians estimate Capone stashed away millions before his arrest. Some claimed it was $30 million, others said more. Yet when he died in 1947, his estate was modest. The government found only a few thousand in cash, and his Miami home. A scattering of jewelry? Where did the money go? Theories abound. Some say he buried it, in walls, in fields, in hidden safes beneath Chicago. Others believe loyal associates moved it offshore, into Swiss accounts long before the government could touch it. And then, there are darker whispers. That rival gangsters seized it, that corrupt cops claimed it, that Capone's own family hid it and kept silent. To this day, no treasure map has ever surfaced. But one thing is clear. Capone's millions didn't just evaporate, they were absorbed, dispersed, recycled into the underworld. Capone left behind a wife, May, and a son, Sonny. May lived quietly, refusing interviews, surviving on what little remained. Sonny lived with a disability, partially deaf, and avoided the mob life entirely. They never flaunted riches. No luxurious mansions, no fleets of cars. If Capone's fortune was hidden with them, they kept it secret until the grave. The family's silence became part of the legend, and that silence still haunts treasure hunters to this day. When mobsters go down, the law comes for the money. Today, federal law allows for asset forfeiture. Cars, houses, businesses, bank accounts, anything tied to criminal activity can be seized. But back in Capone's day, the system was crude. Lawmen focused on evidence for convictions, not asset recovery. That's how millions slipped through the cracks. Even in modern cases, mob money rarely surfaces intact. It's laundered through shell companies, offshore accounts, front businesses. By the time the boss is in handcuffs, the cash is already gone. Some hidden, some stolen, some quietly redistributed among surviving lieutenants. Think about it. If the Mafia could hide billions during Prohibition, imagine what they do today with global banks and digital transfers. Capone was only the beginning. History repeats itself. Bugsy Siegel, Meyer Lansky, Lucky Luciano, all giants of organized crime, all worth millions. And yet when they died or were imprisoned, their official estates were suspiciously small. Lansky in particular was believed to control hundreds of millions through offshore accounts. But when he died in 1983, he was nearly penniless on paper. The truth? The mob knows how to make money disappear. Capone's fortune may never be found because it was never lost. It simply changed hands. According to Capone's grandniece, Capone admitted that he had buried a strongbox containing keys to safe deposit boxes and other financial records, but was too delusional to remember the location after his release. Despite decades of searching, his buried fortune was never found. Capone's legend still draws fortune seekers. Stories of a vault beneath the Lexington Hotel, hidden cash in Miami, gold buried in Wisconsin fields. In 1986, television host Geraldo Rivera staged a live broadcast, opening what was believed to be Capone's secret vault. Millions tuned in. What did they find? Nothing, just dirt and debris. The vault was empty, but the fascination remains, because somewhere people believe Capone's millions are still out there, waiting. So what happens to mob money when the boss goes down? It depends. Sometimes the government takes it, sometimes the rivals seize it, sometimes the family hides it forever. But one thing is constant. Blood money never truly vanishes. It shifts, it moves, it reappears in new hands, under new names, funding new crimes. Capone's millions built the underworld we know today. The casinos, the unions, the narcotics networks. His fortune didn't die with him, it multiplied. So where did Al Capone's millions go? No historian, no detective, no treasure hunter has ever answered that with certainty. Perhaps it lies in a forgotten safe, buried beneath Chicago concrete. Perhaps it flows through hidden bank accounts, untouched for generations. Perhaps the true fortune of Al Capone was the empire he built, an empire that taught the world how to hide its crimes in plain sight. And maybe that was his greatest legacy. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because in the world of organized crime, money never sleeps, and the truth is always darker than legend.